Welcome, everybody, to the college basketball preview show on the Only True Sports Network tonight. The Indiana Hoosiers will travel to Northwestern to take on the Wildcats. The Wildcats are a surprising 5.5-point favorite, at least to me they are. Indiana's won 6 of their last 8 games, but those 2 losses were more than concerning if you're an Indiana fan, both by 25 points. One at Iowa, the other one at home against Illinois. And Northwestern enters this game losing 4 of its last 5, but all the games came against top 50 opponents. And if you're a Northwestern Wildcat fan, you have to be really encouraged about the performance in Michigan, losing a close game against the Wolverines. This is also a crucially important matchup if either one of these teams wants to make the NCAA tournament. Yes, winning this game will not really move the thermometer either way on making the tournament. But if you lose this game, that's going to be a big shot right there, especially with how tough the Big Ten is this year. As we said, Northwestern's just played 5 straight games against top 50 teams. Indiana's getting ready to enter the toughest part of their schedule. Neither team can afford to lose here tonight. And, of course, you have always the Big Ten, the home team, usually comes out on top no matter what the matchup. We've seen all kinds of upsets this year in situations like that. Last night we had Ohio State, though, go to Purdue, beat the Boilermakers. Right now, the Hoosiers shot at the NCAA tournament. I checked out something called T-Rank, which gives them a 25% chance. Northwestern has a 2% chance. And the game itself, I think, will depend on how Indiana defends the two-headed monster of Brooks Barnhizer and Nick Martelli. The 2 players account for 45% of Northwestern's field points and field goal attempts. So there's a lot here to make this think this matchup is going to be really tough for Indiana. IU defends the 3-point shot relatively well to give up 31%. Where they have troubles defending the 2-point shot, the mid-range shot. Barnhizer and Martinelli are both guys that love to shoot the ball from mid-range. That could cause the Hoosiers trouble. And it's going to be important for guys like Luke Goody, Trey Galloway, and Mackenzie Mbako. Mbako has struggled, and he struggled badly as of recent. And if he doesn't get it together, it's going to be really hard for this Indiana team to win. And on top of that, you've got Luke Goody, who has been inconsistent this year. But I think a lot of that has been just because of the simple fact that he didn't have a lot of playing time early in the year. He had 23 points against Ohio State in that big win in Columbus last weekend. He's going to have another game like that. You've also got 2 injured players. You got Bryson Tucker, the freshman, who got hurt the last game, who may be out. I think he will be out today. And then, of course, we got Malik Renew. A lot of Hoosier fans have said that this team is better with just one big. The issue with that is Renew is one of their better players. Not a great defender, but he can rebound the ball, he can shoot the ball, he can score the basket. But the issue is, if you look at a team like Purdue, outside of last night's loss to Ohio State, the thing that really turned their team around was actually having 2 guys underneath, kicking the ball out. The problem was with Indiana, with their 2 inside, with Renew and Ballo. Once that ball goes in, it very seldom comes out, and the offense tends to stagnate. Now, it's possible Renew could play tonight, but I haven't seen anything telling me that he is going to play. So there is the possibility he could play, but I kind of doubt it tonight also. Now, the other side of the floor is likely to be a slog. Northwestern enters with a top 25 defensive unit. Indiana's offense still is yet truly to pop this season. The floor spacing has been atrocious for the Hoosiers on the offensive side of the court. Now, the Hoosiers are overly reliant on Mbako and Ballo inside, which makes it easier for opponents to sell out there. Now, expect Northwestern to try and cut off passing lanes, just like they did against the Michigan Wolverines last weekend. All right, and it's going to be up to Galloway and Miles Rice to find ways to lead the ball down low. If Indiana can avoid turnovers, an upset seems possible. Now, my problem, I'm a Hoosier fan, and to sit here and talk about Northwestern and the fact that I don't think Woodson has beaten Northwestern, the fact that this would be an upset if Indiana beat Northwestern blows me away. I think Indiana is the superior talented team. I think Chris Collins does a great job at Northwestern. They're very well coached. That's going to make this game difficult. Indiana, I don't think, played particularly well against Ohio State, but they did show grit, tenacity. They did battle that game at the end and pull it out. 5.5 points seems like a lot here, but Martinelli and Barnhauser are, I think, one of the best two-man combinations in the Big Ten. The game's being played at Northwestern. Indiana has not shown an ability to come off one big win and get a second big win right in a row. We saw this earlier in the year in the Big Ten season where they beat Minnesota, they lose a couple games, and I do not trust the Indiana Hoosiers and Mike Woodson in this scenario. I'm really worried about giving up the 5.5 points, but I'm going to take Northwestern tonight, minus 5.5. And if I'm going to bet this game, I'm going to go to Bet MGM, which you can find in a link in the description down below on the YouTube. And basically, the Indiana Hoosiers need to get this done tonight, guys. But for now, take Northwestern, give the 5.5 points. I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak. Hello.
Hi, is this Mike?
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. I'm Ella.